All right. Hey guys. Well, we have made it another week and I'm so excited because this is something that we don't get to do a whole lot. And that is have couples come on here and share about their experience with Plexus. So my name is Lisa. This is Ryan. And we have two other couples that are going to be sharing their testimony. We were talking just a minute ago about the stressors that even good marriages on a good day go through. And one of those is money. And we'll talk about that a little bit. Each of the couples will, but another is our health because, when mama doesn't feel good or daddy doesn't feel good, it's hard for it puts a big stressor on the marriage. It puts a big stressor on parenting. So we are so excited to be able to share with you guys what's worked for us and the changes that we've seen. So first, we're going to hear from a couple, Rebecca and Rich, and they're going to share a little bit about their story. So if you guys want to unmute, tell us a little bit about your health journey, some of the benefits that you've seen in each other, and how some of the stressors have been taken off of you guys with the business.
Perfect. Hey guys, I am Rebecca, Diamond Ambassador Rebecca Williams.
And I'm Rich. Good to be with y'all.
Yes, so we're excited just to share with you, just from our perspective. I think, have we been with Plexus? I think I joined, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So tell us, what is your favorite product, Rich?
Well, I don't have one. There's two products that I really like. The first is Mega X. I get up, since she started doing Plexus, I realized like sleep, I wasn't getting good sleep. And so I got on Mega X and was getting really good sleep. And that allowed me to go to the gym really early in the morning. So I wake up at 4:35 and I couldn't do it without Mega X. The second one that I really love is Active. I mean, at 2:30, when you're just like, I'm getting kind of tired, it's a good shot in the arm to keep you going through the rest of the day.
If you haven't taken Active, it is actually not a shot in the arm. Don't get scared about that. Active would probably be it is 100% my absolute favorite product. Literally, it boosts my energy, but it boosts my mood. And if you know mamas can get moody, that is a big deal. Y'all probably don't know about that. But at our house, mama can get moody. We have, what we didn't share is we have 3 biological children, and we are foster parents to twin girls who turned 18 months old today. So
that we've had since they were 10 days old.
Yes. So when we need energy, we need energy. So Active is truly a game changer for us. I also would say I started for ProBio 5. I started because I needed a product to address my chronic fatigue and joint pain. And I really had this mystery, like, why do you have this joint pain? Like, I had all this blood work done and really wasn't getting an answer to why I felt so terrible. I really thought this is how you feel in motherhood. So I have other products, ProBio 5, the probiotic, X Factor, our multivitamin with added aloe that helps your body absorb the nutrients better. So those would be my other 2 favorite products. But I do want to share, as a Diamond Ambassador, that's the top of the company, I'd love to hear Rich's perspective on what you think, how the business has blessed our family.
Oh gosh. I mean, the financial side has been a huge thing. It allowed me to completely change careers. I had a job for 9 years that, was good, but on Saturdays, I started getting in a funk because I knew I had to go to work on Monday. Now I'm in a career that, I've been there for about 6-7 years now. And I like Saturday or Sunday evenings, I'm excited because I get to go to work and, it's what I love doing. So that's been a huge thing. And What else would you say?
I think that just to hit home on that, we were in a position where we depended on both of our incomes. I was working corporate America, loved my job, but it was not, like for him specifically, the job he was in was not a job he wanted. And we would not have had the financial freedom to have that bridge for him to start over, a career completely over, and to be able to carry him till he ramped to where he is now. So that is huge. Loving what you do every day is huge. For me, oh man, there's just so many things. Number one, we're able to foster because we couldn't say yes to twin infants like straight from the hospital without, the setup with work that I have now. You can ask our boys, and the biggest thing they love, like I pick them up in carpool, like they love me being active. I'm the one, they remember when we had a nanny, they didn't want the nanny picking them up, spending the summer with them. I get to do that with them. I've had a Plexus Lexus for, I think I got it in 2016. So I remember when I got my Plexus Lexus, I called my grandmother and I was like, I got a Plexus Lexus. And she was like, oh, Becca. She was like, they don't really pay for those cars, baby. And I was like, no, here I am. It's 2023 and they've never stopped paying for the car. Like, that's amazing to me. So just having a car that they've paid for. We've been to Hawaii, I think 5 times, and earned a trip to Mexico too. Now we've just earned a second trip to Mexico. Travel is the cherry on top for us. The financial freedom, actually the house we're sitting in was built in 1975. And I really started the business because I wanted to renovate my kitchen. So I wanted to get enough money to pay to renovate my kitchen in cash. But then it was like, okay, did that. All right, bathrooms, windows, like the whole thing. And so the Lord has really been gracious in the business and just really blessed us with the business. And it has really changed the trajectory, I believe, of our family.
Yep.
What would you say the biggest objection would be, like when I said, hey, I think Rich was really supportive on trying the products. That really was like, hey, there's a 60-day money back guarantee. Yeah, okay, sure, try it. If it works, it works. But what were your honest thoughts when I said I want to work the business?
Well, I think to start, the whole 60-day money back guarantee. She mentioned earlier, like Rebecca was always tired, and no question about it. She was tired from the time she got up until the time she went to bed. And so I was like, yeah, give it a shot. I mean, if this makes a difference, go for it. I think one of the things was, she met with Julia, and Julia was like, hey, I'm doing this and car, Hawaii, the income. And I was just thinking, Rebecca, I was just telling her, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but like, is that really attainable? And so I guess a couple of my biggest fears was that she wouldn't get there. And then also, like, I didn't want her to peddle this to friends. We have other friends that have been in network marketing, and it irked me. And I don't feel like that's what this is, because where there might be selling a protein shake or something like that. This is products that actually help people. So it's more a conversation that leads to a sale. Yeah.
And I think my biggest objection was there was just always in my home where I grew up, like there was always a stigma around direct sales. There was always, I just remember thinking, I actually was approached by 2 other companies in the years before, like other people, and like, you need to do this. And I was like, no, never. Thank you. No. And so really just the stigma around what I thought that would be. And then the other side of that was truly like Rich actually started my first business page for it, because I was like, I don't even know 100 people that would want to do this. Like that seems really far-fetched. So I really didn't dream big enough. I really felt like you said the car, the trips. I felt like that was for those few people. And now we have, just gobs of friends that have, hit jewel rank and all the trips, the cars, the financial true freedom. So I think that's been the neatest thing, like kind of getting out of my own way and getting out of my own head and taking the chance and confidently, because I knew the products worked and I knew people that the business worked for. I'm going to end it with this. I remember when I started the business, I walked into my son's daycare and a girl's like, tell me what that Plexus you're doing. And I was like, oh girl, I am going all the way with this. You need to join me. I'm going to be making 6 figures. And she like cut her eyes at me. She's like, you'll never do that. Like I remember being like, okay.
Game on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But it's fascinating to me now, the people that are so encouraging. And it's like, once I got there, it was like everybody was proud, but everybody was very skeptical in the beginning. And so it's just been really neat to just, when you believe in something and you believe in, you know, the company, the products, like I believe in all aspects of it, you just stick with it, keep your head down, you know, just clear your mind if you have doubts, like, because it's just a great company, and it truly has been such a game changer for us.
Definitely.
So thank you guys for letting us share.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm so glad that y'all had such positive experiences, because not all spouses, and I'll say husbands, because I would say, you know, the majority, not all, we're getting more and more guys, but the majority of us are women. And so sometimes husbands, you know, aren't as on board until they start seeing some checks come in, and, you know, until they start seeing some changes. And so I'm really glad that your shareholder, Rebecca, is 100% on board with you, because that's really, really helpful. So I'm really glad that you have that enriched. So that's so good.
That's
So
a
thank
good
y'all
point. One more thing, like just having him alongside when I was growing and, you know, needing to do things like tonight, like helping get the kids down, like he's been so supportive. And, you know, like with 5 children up there asleep right now, you know, it's a process and it's a team. And I do think like every bit of building this business has been teamwork. I think that is just, I mean, that's important. Our next Zoom will be marriage counseling, since we've all been married about 45 years combined or something. But truly, the teamwork aspect has been a blessing for sure.
I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing. I never tire of hearing of y'all's stories, and I love hanging out with y'all any chance that we get. I know Ryan does too.
That's right.
Rich
rules.
All right. So next we're going to hear from another sweet couple, Katie and her husband. They're going to share a little bit about them. Again, just the same thing. You know, what are your favorite products? What changes have you seen in each other that you feel are the most beneficial, especially to your marriage? I mean, it's Valentine's Day coming up. So we talk about marriage, relationships, and it's so important when we feel good, that it definitely helps to help a relationship go a little smoother. So share your story with us, Katie.
Hey guys, so I probably started the products about 5 years ago, and I really just did it to appease a friend and do the 60-day and then move along. And I did it and I quit the 60 days. And then about 3 weeks in, I was like, oh, I just feel really blah. And Manny was like, I bet it was the fact that Plexus stuff actually worked. So my husband, Manny, is a pharmacist. And so I was like, all right, well, if we're going to do this, then you're going to have to research these ingredients, because I don't know what this means. So I had him sit down and research some of the basics like Probio 5, Slim. And his response was, we all need to be taking these products. And so I started back, and I got to say, I will never miss a day of my Probio 5 or my Slim, but Active is definitely one of both our favorites. Like we don't miss a day of that. I mean, I don't know how parents function without Active. Like how does a parent go without that? I don't get it. So that's my favorites. What are your favorites?
Well, I have to back up from the beginning, really. So when Katie's friend kept like nudging her, you know, into trying this, and Katie was very reluctant, and then finally she started using the products, and then decided that she wanted to even, you know, try to start working the business too. And so I got to trying to research a little bit about this, and the biggest thing for me that really started my I guess Plexus journey was the Probio 5, because even at the time I didn't recognize, I mean, I knew probiotics were healthy for you, but I didn't recognize what all it actually did, as far as like how the gut produces so much of your immunity and so many neurotransmitters that affect your mood, like your serotonin, your melatonin, that's your sleep wake cycle. And that's why it's so beneficial for, you know, the sleep. You know, that's why we're able to get better sleep than a lot of people who wouldn't use a good probiotic like Probio 5. So that right there, I was like, every single person needs to be on Probio 5. And of course we take the X Factor too. And I mean, obviously nobody has a good enough diet probably to get all of the vitamins that they need. So obviously a supplement is very beneficial, and especially guys who go to the gym. Rich, you go to the gym. I go to the gym in the morning too. So I mean, we're using a lot more energy and building muscle. Hopefully, at least that's the goal. And so we need that that extra vitamin, right? But so yeah, I use that, and I even use the whey protein.
Lean, slim, lean.
Which whatever it is. So I use that too.
Yeah.
And then
Hydrate.
I've started doing hydrate in the morning because at work, you know, I forget to drink. I'll usually have a bottle of water and I'll put a hydrate in there so that I can at least get my electrolytes and stuff that I may be missing out on. And then yeah, like middle of the afternoon when I'm like about to die, I'll mix me up an active just to kind of give me that little push through the rest of the day. So I mean, I'm sold on it, and I even probably against policy, I will use the platform as pharmacists at work to be like, hey, you know what you really need? You need to talk to my wife about some of these products. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been great. You know, the products are definitely healthy, and I can tell a difference when I'm using them, when I'm not. Katie can tell you that I get really aggravated if she has forgotten to order them on time and I'm out of something for a few days. I'm like, where's my box? You know, I need my stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think too, another benefit that I love is that our kids take it. So like, it's a whole family thing. Like they take the Probio 5, they take the kids' drinks. I have one I have to hide the hydrate from her because she would just drink it all day, every day. I mean, like, I love that I have kids that can take it, and that, I mean, like, it's great to see. Like, I had one telling me the other day that her teacher was mixing up her Slim and was like, hey, you want to come check the bottle for me? Like, you know, they're telling everybody else about it too. So I will say that, like, when I decided to do this, I remember him saying, you need to find a way to get it paid for. So I was like, okay, you know, let's cover my products first. And that didn't take very long at all. Before I know it, like, I'm covering both of our products, and now I'm covering like the whole family's products. So I love the fact that, like, I'm not at the top of the company, but my family never ever has to pay for our own products. Like, I can't recall. I mean, it's been years, you know. So I love the fact that every month we are all getting everything we need, all of our essentials, and it's completely covered. And, you know, then there's leftover too. So that's helpful.
I mean, it's definitely good to know that, you know, because actually the past couple of years, everybody knows it's kind of been meager as far as, you know, being able to afford some stuff. And so it's nice to know that there's
cushion,
that little cushion, you know, to help with added expenses. So yeah, it's been a great benefit. And I mean, there's always ebbs and flows in a business like that because people will, you know, decide that they need to go off their products for a little while. And so, you know,
and then they learn that they don't need to go off their products.
Right. But yeah, I mean, definitely huge potential. I mean, just from what I've learned about the company through Katie, I mean, Plexus seems like it's completely legit. And I mean, it's not your typical, it's not a pyramid scheme like so many people want to call it. I mean, this is legitimate. And so, yeah, I mean, I really feel like if more people would, you know, give it an opportunity, they would recognize that.
I love that. And I'm going to touch a little bit on Manny, with you being a pharmacist. So I'm a nurse, and I'm a Western medicine nurse. And so I've been very conditioned to once you have established a diagnosis, you write a prescription or you recommend a procedure or surgery. And so with you being a pharmacist, do you still have people that you work with, like your colleagues, that think that you're nuts?
So that is a loaded question because people know I'm nuts regardless of what I use. But so, I mean, over the past couple of years, well, really over the past several years, I have always said that I would rather somebody use a non-pharmacologic way of treating something, whether, you know, lifestyle changes, diet, exercise, before using a prescription drug. And I'll be honest with you, the last 2 years have shown me even more so that I want very little to do with, you know, prescription drugs and pharma and FDA, and, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, there's the people that I most closely work with, I think they recognize where I'm coming from in that respect, and so they don't really think of me as crazy. Now there are still plenty of people in my healthcare circle that would be like, no, we're not into that. We'll let the doc prescribe my medication.
Yes, and I feel you with that. So that's what I was going to ask, because especially in the last couple of years, my eyes have really been opened. Really, I feel like in the last, I've been doing Plexus almost 8 years, but like a veil has been lifted. I think maybe you probably agree with that. Just, so many ways that we have been conditioned to look at healthcare has really changed. And so I'm glad that it has for you too. And so now you're able to, give people some better options, because some of my patients, they just look so desperate, and they're like, I've tried all of these prescriptions and I still feel terrible. They're like, what else can I do? And I'm like, let's chat. I want to contact you on social media or whatever. And, or here's my card, or here's my number or whatever. So that's so great. Thank y'all for sharing your story. I love hearing everybody's different ways that this company has blessed them. And I love that, especially the guys, both of y'all have said, and I'm not trying to be sexist here, but I think that we all could agree that on average, men are more skeptical than women to dive into something different, So I love that both of you guys have said, you know what, this is the real deal. And I'm glad that y'all are supporting y'all's lovely wives. So thank y'all for being here and sharing with us. So it's our turn. So this is Ryan, and I'm Lisa. And so, yes, I'm a nurse, and been one for, oh my goodness, this is going to show my age. So 22 years, almost 23 years. And I was very conditioned for all those years, that prescriptions is the way to go. And I used to be just such a snob about it. I'd really turn my nose up at people that wanted to come at me with their, just tree hugging, bark chewing, whatever they're doing, these crazy rituals that they're doing. And so I was really skeptical, but you guys, I was really sick for a really long time, and I was cranky and I was moody, and I probably still am a little bit to a certain degree, but he'll tell you, but I was really miserable, and I had 2 sinus surgeries, 2 upper GIs, a colonoscopy, a flex sigmoidoscopy. I was on all kinds of prescriptions. I was also on oils and vitamins and supplements and really expensive probiotics and all kinds of stuff. And I still wasn't getting better. And none of my colleagues, none of the other nurses or nurse practitioners or doctors that I worked for and with, nobody threw up any red flags and said, hey, hold on a second, Lisa, you're doing the same thing and expecting different results. Why don't you try something different? Not one person. And so I think that it was maybe just the Lord's graciousness and nudging me towards something different. And I saw a friend posting about it, and I trusted her. And I said, okay, this is the one thing I haven't looked at is gut health. And so let's just take a look at it, because I've tried everything else. And so I did. And Ryan will tell you, he was a little skeptical of me taking it. But it didn't take long for him to see some results with me. And so then he decided to try. Why did you try
Well,
the products?
For you that know me, I'm hunting, fishing, and loving every day. So, I say that because I have several passions that keep me occupied and stuff, and Lisa, she's always just loved to help people. And so whenever Plexus came along and she started showing interest in taking the products, as well as later, getting into repping the product, so to say, I was like, heck yeah, this is something that falls right into her wheelhouse as far as helping people. I mean, that's her. And so at that point, I was all about supporting it, but at the same time, very skeptical of as far as, is this legit? And as far as do the products work, as well as does the business, is that something that's realistic, And so bottom line, I started seeing results out of her, and her health. I mean, from her acid reflux to her being lactose and gluten intolerant. I'm a pizza lover, and those gluten-free, lactose, whatever, pizzas. Yeah, we ain't having that. So anyway, just seeing her improve in so many different ways, just to,
Sleeping better. Sleeping was huge.
Yeah, but
Huge
just-
for me.
just the gut health thing and how many different ways it helped her. And for me, I had minimal health issues, so to say, compared to her. I mean, she was taking so many pills, she looked like a chipmunk. I'm like, how are you even hungry at dinner? She was taking so many things. And but
Why
all-
did you start?
yeah, so for me, I started because it was working for her. And I was like, you know what, I don't take supplements and that sort of thing. I kind of thought it, I'm not gonna lie, I did for a while. Then I started taking it, and then I would fall off of taking it. And guess what? I could feel the, as far as energy levels and that sort of thing, I would have a fall off. And I'm like, okay, that stuff, that was a little sign that this stuff worked for me. I could see the results in her, but for me, the biggest thing was I lived a lifetime of migraines. So
And we have to tell them how bad it was.
yeah, I mean, anyway, it would shut me down. Everybody would have to shut up and put me in a dark room and whatever, and it really hit me hard back whenever I went on a hunt with my son in Kentucky. Such an amazing opportunity for he and I to spend together, yet I was miserable because I had a migraine just about the entire time. Long story short, he ended up shooting a monster buck, and I ended up, due to the migraine, barfing my brains out. Just the headache and the sunlight in my eyes. It was just, I was like, okay, we got to do something, and
y'all, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but what he's not telling you is that the ways that he would try to combat his migraines, he'd get a migraine, and the first thing he would reach for is the goody powders. He put it under his tongue, and then he would chase it with a Coke. So that's how he was trying to address that.
Wouldn't put it under my tongue, I'd put it in the back.
Back of his tongue, straight in his.
But regardless, yeah, I was popping goodies, pretty often. But as far as what I take X Factor vitamins in the morning.
X Factor Plus.
Okay, X Factor Plus. And in the evening, and of course, I also drink a Slim. Also for, I think, skin and hair. Also, I do some of the collagen stuff.
He just started that.
But basically the triplex has been what I've been taking for probably 6 or 7 years. And so I take my X Factor Plus in the mornings, and back when I was being a rebel, I was like, just give me all the pills, I'll just take them all at once, and I found out that didn't work for me, because some of these products do help you sleep. And I would get to work after popping them all at once, and I'd be a dozer, so I figured out what worked for me. And now I take my probiotic and BioCleanse at night before I go to bed. And of course that helps me sleep at night. But the biggest thing for me, no migraines, I'm sold. I'll take it for life.
And goodness knows, like, he finally started getting his checkups, right? Like, you go to the doctor, you get your yearly checkups. And he's doing so good. Like, who knows what his cholesterol and blood sugars and stuff, like, we don't know what they would be, because I don't think he ever got checked before. So who knows what they would be. So we're so thankful, because
I'm hardly the poster child for healthy living and eating. I love some pizza, as mentioned previously, but
he thinks he's 18 still, but that's okay, because he feels 18. So that's good.
But I know for a fact that the Plexus products has definitely helped me in so many different ways. So
and just like Katie was saying too, and I'm sure Rich and Rebecca, y'all's kids, I think y'all's kids take the products too, but our kids take the products. So our daughter had eczema, she had allergies, she had GI issues. We put her on the X Factor and the Probio 5 before they had a combo chewable, and cleared all that up. And my son, he was on the same thing, Probio 5 and the regular X Factor, and he had molluscum contagiosum on his hands, on a little on his face. He also had allergies, and he also had some GI issues that were the exact opposite of my daughter's, but both products for both kids balance them out, and they don't have any of those issues. They have great attention span in school. They're straight A students. They sleep great. They have strong immune systems. Their kids all around them in class are sick, and knock on wood, they're healthy. And if they do get something, it's not as bad and it doesn't last as long. But we're so thankful.
Yeah, we've been blessed for sure, because
Oh, yeah.
at my office, I mean, the people that come in and out of there as far as being sick,
Mhm.
I mean, no doubt a lot of it is the Lord has blessed us, but hey, taking the Plexus is,
And it's a
no doubt been a huge help with that.
Absolutely. And it is a tool. Like, we should be making some healthier choices. And actually he isn't as bad as he says, but he does make healthier choices than he did, 5-10 years ago. But
She
you know,
makes me.
I do.
She won't buy me Coke.
I will not buy him Coke. I don't make sweet tea, little things like that. But the thing is that it is a tool. It can be a miracle product for a lot of people. But you should look at this as a tool in your tool belt of health, and also with the finances. And so
Let me say one thing.
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt, because throughout all of this conversation of all three couples, I want to say, and I'm positive we'll all agree, consistency is key. Whether you're looking for results of the products or whether you're looking at results of the business, consistency, sticking with it, that's where it's at.
That's right. And that's true for anything in life, for sure. So that's a good point that you made. Good job, honey. But with the finances, so, we both have college degrees. We both had, full-time, good paying jobs, but we still had some struggles, paying the bills that we chose to pay. We had 2 little ones that we wanted to get them out of the public school system and put them into private school. We couldn't do that before Plexus. We wanted our kids to have braces. We couldn't do that before Plexus. In fact, I had to hold off my son. The orthodontist told us he needed braces. And I told him for a year, I was like, bud, we just can't afford it. So my Plexus business kind of took off. And so I was able to, get my sweet son some straight teeth. And that's a big deal for us, big deal for a lot of people. And so, and ballet and cheer and baseball and football, all that is expensive. And I know that there's a lot of parents out there that aren't able to say yes to their kids. We're not talking, yes, Hawaii has been awesome. And we're going to go to Mexico, this year.
Party on, Rich.
So, and that's so fun. And yes, I drive a Lexus, and yes, I was able to retire from nursing back in 21, and now I just work PRN. I just work when I want, if I want. I still love the patient care. I still love getting out there and being able to do that. But I'm able to pick up my daughter every day. I was there for my son's senior year of high school last year. I didn't miss a thing. I was at all the things. I was able to take him, to travel ball tournaments and out of state stuff. And we had the extra money to do that. And I was able to take off work, when he couldn't.
And as a nurse, she's worked every shift possible, I think, and sometimes it was all night, and stuff. So that's definitely been a huge thing.
Yeah, I used to have to work at the hospital, and nights and weekends and holidays, and that was just not good when you have little kids. It wasn't good for us. I'll say that. It works for some people. It was not good for us. It was a huge stressor, and so this has just been such an answer to prayer in so many ways. And so we're so thankful. And, I'll end with this.
Let me say,
okay.
I got to interrupt again.
Usually I'm the one interrupted.
Well, for me too, talk about a blessing. Prior to this, I was working 3 jobs.
Oh, that's right.
And so,
That's right.
talking about time freedom and that sort of thing, it's not that I want to be lazy and not work. Heck, I'd rather be working than being bored for sure, but just the fact, again, of being able to spend time with our youngins and have some us time and some me time, it's been a big blessing as far as that goes, as far as financially too.
And, I grew up that 9 to 5 was the way to go. You go to school, you get a degree, and then you get a job. As a nurse, it's not a 9 to 5 job, but it's a job that is very common, right? Everybody knows nurses sometimes have to work at the hospital or weekends and holidays, but it is a in the box kind of an occupation. So for me to go from, okay, I got a degree in nursing, he got a degree in graphic design, art, illustration. And so for us to even think about, I'm going to step outside the box and do, could the Lord call me to do something outside of the box? like, surely the Lord wouldn't call me to do this, but we have felt the Lord's hand in this. So thankful that he brought these products to us, to our family, to our extended family, our friends. So thankful for the business. And I'll say this, if you're looking for the Lord to speak to you inside the box, he may be trying to talk to you outside of the box. So maybe start listening outside of the box and see where it is that the Lord would have you to be. If in the box, sitting and meeting your needs.
And guys, I'll say if your wife is interested in this, I would encourage you to encourage them, and also give it a true try, because I think in the end, you're going to be blessed in a lot of ways. But of course, supporting the wives, that's always a good thing.
That's right. All right, you guys. Well, thanks so much for spending your Wednesday night with us. We love coming to you guys and sharing what Plexus has done for us. And hopefully you heard something in what one of us has shared tonight that has piqued your interest, or if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you more about it. So y'all have a great night and happy Valentine's Day, and we'll talk to y'all later.